folks, so this is my Alpina RCS 546 chainsaw, 2 years old. Even when we bought it, when it was in warranty, it was still very difficult to start. Took it back, we only bought it locally from a garden machinery place. They put a new spark plug in it, it started, and I struggled with it for a year. Second year, come to start it, wouldn't start. Fresh fuel, all that. New spark plug, we were away. A few months later, went to start it again. Another new spark plug in it was away. Come to start it this year. New spark plug, no. So it's got something to do with the coil, I'm sure. So let's have a look at it and let's see if we can do anything with it. So this is it. I've taken the bar off to make it a tad easier to work on. I don't know if the lights will make any difference. Maybe. So this is it. And I have to say, you know, it's a powerful little engine. I think it's 46 cc's. So not the easiest thing to get into either. So Sparko pluggo is there, and I've also got a Tanaka Japanese quality brush cutter, which is about 40 cc's, and these two spark plugs are last year's and they wouldn't spark in this. I've just tried them in the Tanaka and it's the same plug except a little softer. So these are BMP R7As and the 6As in the brush cutter. So it's definitely coil related. And I've just tried the new plug in it, put it in, it started first pull. If you go berserk, you can just get the odd spark, so it's got to be something to do with either the lead, the coil or something. I also, because I didn't know where to start, looking for information on this thing, there's very little out there. I measured the ohms value of the secondary winding of the ignition coil, and it's 6.5 kiloohms. I measured the Tanaka, obviously 2-stroke, similar size, similar idea, you know, pulse, ignition, the module all in one lump, and that's 575 kiloohms. So I would imagine that, you know, the secondary reading is about right, but there's no information on it anywhere. So I'm going to pull the coil out and let's have a look. So I think that push, the airbox comes off. Yeah. Do I need to take the handle off? It's not impeding there. No, I think the handle can stay. So this bit off next. So I've got a couple of these torque bit drivers, and I've got a 25 and a 30, two different sizes. So and they're like, the ones that go into the plastic are like self-tapping style, wood screw style or whatever. Quite a coarse thread. Any more in there? Can't see anymore. Oh, we're on this thing. That's the choke. Maybe gentle. Yes. It's going to come. Little rubber thing out of the way. It's on there. I wonder if I can just slacken that. Not with that, I can't. That'll take it out. Look, some kind of a scutcheon cup or whatever. Bit of slack now. And voila. And unfortunately they're normally at the top, aren't they, on a still? It's right down inside somewhere, so recoil off. Small one. So these are a finer thread, so they must go into the aluminium body. Are they long enough? Look like M5s. Oh, tight. M5. And we're off. So maybe that's just to stop the, maybe to direct the air for this, maybe, or to stop the sawdust getting in, I don't know. Anyway, so voila, there we are, one coil. So pull that through there, and there's just, oh, there's a, so let's have a look at this thing. This is obviously the, you can't pull it off in situ. Won't come off in situ, or will it? Because it's touching the casing. And let's slack him off. Whoa, tight. Okay, I managed it. I had to revert to that. And I'll tell you what, these were so tight, they've been Loctited. I was frightened of them, I was frightened of actually breaking them. But anyway, they're out, the Loctite's off them. So now, got to see, I've measured the kill switch wire, still nothing with that disconnected. So I'm now going to go back to where we bought it from, because they're the main dealers for Alpina, to see if he's got one of them on the shelf. Hopefully yes, so we'll be back directly. Okay, very disappointing. Went back to where we bought this from, and it's just over 2 years old. Don't carry, only carry the chain and things like that, spark plugs, no chance. And I said, well, can you order me one? And the lady kindly said to me, you're far better ordering it yourself, because if we order it, it'll take a long time. Not impressed. So came back, she said use that number. I put that number in the search engine Google, YD4 8BSH5. Got a couple of hits in Italy. One of them, it was an all Italian site, no, and I'm on my Italian is 0. But the other one you could click and convert it to English. Eventually we had a bit of a correspondence, and even though they've got them, they can't sell them to me. Can't sell me one because we're not in the European Union, and there's too much paperwork involved for the amount of value of the coil. So there is a main agent in up north somewhere in the UK, but after going on the forums they've told me to, because apparently this coil does a multitude of small two-strokes, look for a still of a similar CC and buy one of those. So that is the next thing. So we'll catch you hopefully in a couple of days when I've got a still version of this and see what we can do. So at the moment, not a happy bunny with Alpina stuff. So see you in a short while. Okay, we're now a week on. It took a week. This one, which has just turned up, is for a still MS231 to 251, which is a similar CC, and it is, if you look, you know, the same pattern. However, the magnet spacings are the same. It's got one laminated core more, so maybe the coil's a little bit heavier. So it's 1mm thicker, and when you try to put it in, this bit here bottoms out in the bottom of the casing. So I've got some 1mm washers. I'm going to try and stand it off. And the other is, obviously, you can never find any of these with a lead this long, because, just let me pull the motor up. Whether it's a brush cutter, whether it's a chainsaw or whatever, little two-stroke engine, these are generally all fitted here, the shortest possible route, and that's why they've all got these really short plug leads. So I have tried to see if it comes out, and it seems to be like tabulated or glued or whatever in there, so I don't want to disturb that in case I break anything connection inside. So I'm going to have to come off. I'm going to have to join these at the appropriate length and use the lead off this one, or partial lead off this one for this one, pack it off, and let's see if we get a spark. So let me have a play around with this, see what I can do, and we'll come back when we've got it mounted and we can spin it up to see whether it's going to spark or not. So see you. Okay, I've got my packing washers in underneath, and I'm just doing, I couldn't find any information on this machine, so I've got double thickness of paper, just a piece of ordinary A4 folded over. I don't know what weight it is, but it's about 7 or 8 thou. So I've got it in the position where the magnets are on this side, but I've got the high spot there, the counterweight, so it's fully over the laminated cores. So now if I just spin it so the magnet comes across, I can feel the magnet now, and the magnet's now pulling itself against the paper, so I should have my air gap. So if I nip at this now, okay, spin it back off the magnet and pull the paper out. There we go, can lovely feel the pulse of the magnet, so the laminated cores are in the right place. So I've got a spark plug in there, and if I get my test lead wherever it is, So if I go onto the bodywork somewhere, the barrel and head will do nicely, thank you. And then onto the body of the plague. Voila. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a socket for that on the drill. So the quarter drive should go into there. And if I now go, that's 13, isn't it? 13. Need my 1/4 to 3/8 adapter. And we're going that way, aren't we? So let's go reverse the drill. Now whether, I don't know if you can, if I zoom you down a bit, would you be able to get that spark if we're going to get, there's no reason why we shouldn't have a spark. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. If I put something black underneath it, it's a fairly bright day today. A bit of black. What have we got? What about the inner cowl of this thing? That's black, isn't it? You might be able to see it against that. I'll just pull the garage door down. Get rid of a bit of sunlight. Okay, a bit darker. Yeah, just sparking away there. I zoom that thing in a bit. Will that make any difference? Maybe. And then bring it across a bit. Now we can see it. Sparking now. So there should be no reason why this thing shouldn't run. But I think, let's just pull you back up. I've now got to work out how to actually get the length of the plug lead changed. So let me think about that and we'll be back. Okay, what I've done is sacrilege, I know. I've chopped the lead off the old one. I've got I made, this is actually industrial sewing machine needle, a bit of alley turned up that I've actually put inside, give me a bit of, so that down each end to open a hole up inside the centre. And then this is just a bit of earth out of a bit of 2.5 twin and earth cable. So just cut it on an angle as obtuse as you can, so it gives a sharp edge. Then you can push them together. So I've already slipped a couple of pieces of shrink wrap on here. So I'm now just going to put a little bit of super glue on the faces of the, where the two bits come together. Not too much. What am I doing? Putting too much on. That's it. Now I can grip this end with the pliers to stop it going in any deeper on that, and I should be able now to feed this in, voila, all the way till I'm on the super glue. And then let's pull this insulation back a little bit. We're on. Then I've got two pieces of shrink wrap here, one slightly bigger than the other. If I can now separate them, nearly. There we go. I'll just wipe that super glue off there so that the shrink wrap doesn't stick before it's heated up. I want it in the right place, obviously, because it's this internal one is slightly smaller. There we go. So that's one in place, and I'll just get this one out of the way if I can. Get rid of that a bit. That'll go on the inside of there. Maybe. Might do. Get that out of the way a bit. So now if we go for this one, if I can remember how to use this thing. Yes. So I'll just do the first one, keeping away from that. This one on. Over the top. And hopefully it's a good join. So now this should go back over, and it does. So we've now got one made up lead, so let's have a tidy up, bring the engine back over, let's put it back in and make sure I've still got a spark. Okay, it says, don't know if you can catch this, maybe, cold engine, 6 pumps, put the choke on, 4 pulls, choke off, and it should start. Warm engine, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 5 should run within 5 pulls of warm engine. Obviously it's cold. Let's have a look. Don't think it matters whether this is on or off, but I'll put it on anyway. I need my piece of wood because I've got my safety boots of Champions on, as per normal. Either Crocs or flip-flops. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Choke on. Pull 4 times. Choke off. Pull. Pull fired. And the chain holder's working as well. So, job done. Would I buy another one? No, buy a still. See you later folks.